Just seeing you, it does something to my heart.
So if you've been keeping up with AI at all, you know we're moving way beyond just simple chatbots. What's happening right now is a really fundamental shift in how we even think about software. We're talking about the rise of autonomous AI agents. Let's get right into it.
And this really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. I want you to ask yourself this. Is the AI you're using just a tool? Like a hammer or a calculator? Or is it starting to feel more like a genuine teammate? Because how you answer that question is changing, well, pretty much everything. You see, we're stepping into a completely new era of AI. We're shifting from a passive model, where we have to tell it every little thing to do, to an active one, where the AI can actually start taking some initiative on its own. This isn't just an upgrade, it's the next big evolution.
And this chart breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got passive AI. It just sits there waiting for your commands. You have to provide every single step. Think of a calculator. Super useful, but it does nothing until you tell it exactly what to do. But on the other side, that's active AI. That's an agent. You don't give it steps, you give it a vision. It's less like a calculator and a whole lot more like an assistant.
Okay, so if active AI is where we're headed, then we need to properly meet the star of the show, the AI agent itself. So what is it? What actually makes it tick? Let's break down why this is such a massive, massive leap forward.
I absolutely love this analogy because it just clicks. For decades, developers have been like bricklayers, right? They're writing explicit, line-by-line code, carefully placing each brick. But with agents, that role completely changes. The developer becomes a director. They set the high-level goal, they give the agent the tools it needs, and then they just yell, "Action!" The agent takes it from there.
And if you want the textbook definition, here it is. An AI agent is an autonomous system. It's got a brain, which is the large language model doing all the reasoning, and it's got hands, which are the tools it uses to actually do things in the real world. You give it a goal, and its whole reason for being is to figure out how to get that goal done.
And you can break any agent down into these three core parts. First, you have the model. That's the brain, like a Gemini or GPT model. It does the thinking. Then you have the tools. Those are the hands. This is what lets it search the web or access a database or use an API. And the thing connecting them is the orchestration layer. Think of it like the nervous system, managing this constant loop of think, act, and observe.
All right, so we know what an agent is made of, but how does it actually think? How does it really go from a simple goal you give it to a fully completed task all by itself? Well, it has a playbook.
And it's pretty much this 5-step process every time. First, it gets the mission from you. Simple enough. Second, it scans the scene. What tools do I have? What information is available? Third, it thinks it through, breaking that big mission down into a step-by-step plan. Fourth, it takes action, using its tools. And fifth, and this is the absolute magic part, it observes the results of its action and iterates. It checks if it worked, adjusts the plan, and loops right back to the think step, again and again, until the mission's done.
Now, of course, not all agents are created equal. There's a whole spectrum of capability here. We started at level 0, basic chatbots that could only use their training data. Then we hit level 1, agents that could use maybe one tool like a search engine. Right now, we are deep into level 2 and level 3 territory, building agents that can plan really complex tasks and even work together in teams. And the holy grail? That's level 4. We're talking about systems that can improve on their own and even create their own tools. Wild stuff. So let's zoom in on that level 3, because this is where things get really, really powerful right now. It turns out that building a whole team of specialized agents is way more effective than trying to build one single, do-it-all super agent.
And that's a totally fair question, right? It seems logical. Why mess around with a team when you could just build one mega agent and give it every single tool and capability you can think of? Well, it turns out there are some pretty big problems with that approach. When you try to build one of these super agents, it just doesn't work that well. It hits what you could call cognitive overload. It has so many tools, it gets confused. That leads to a drop in accuracy, because it struggles to pick the right tool out of hundreds. Plus, it's way more expensive to run, and honestly, it's a total nightmare to debug when something goes wrong.
So the solution to this super agent problem is actually surprisingly human. You build a team. You wouldn't expect one person to be the CEO, the lead engineer, the marketer, and the accountant, right? It's the same idea here. You create specialized agents that are experts at one thing, and then you let them collaborate.
And these teams can work together in a few common ways. You've got your sequential workflow, which is like an assembly line. The researcher agent hands its findings to the writer agent, who hands the draft to the editor agent. You also have parallel workflows, where a bunch of agents tackle different parts of a problem all at once. And then you have loop workflows, where you might have a critic agent that keeps sending work back for revisions until it's perfect.
And all of this brings us to the most exciting part. This isn't just about cool tech that exists today, it's about the incredible future that is now possible. A future where you are no longer the bricklayer, you are the director.
Just check out this quote from someone in Google's office of the CTO. We're headed for a future with an agent broker, an AI that can automatically hire, fire, and merge other agents to build the absolute perfect team for any given task, all on its own. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's mind-blowing.
So what does this future actually look like for us? Well, we're talking about agents for non-coders, where anyone can build an app just by describing it in plain English. We're talking about whole new agent economies, where your agent literally negotiates a price with the seller's agent to buy something for you online. And yes, we're definitely heading toward those self-evolving systems we talked about, agents that can truly get smarter on their own.
Look, this isn't science fiction anymore. The agent revolution is here. The tools and the frameworks are becoming more accessible every single day. So the real question isn't whether this is coming. It is. The question is, are you going to be on the sidelines just watching it happen, or are you going to step into the director's chair and decide what happens next?
Just seeing you, it does something to my heart, you know.